active and playing 4 games and then not, and like not feeling the best, and then like frustrated of like how hard I worked in the off season, and then like all I do is rehab and like continue to do this process and just like trying to trust that the best I can. And obviously there's really frustrating days, and there's days where like it's a little bit easier and like you're very, very motivated and like you're right at close to the finish line of getting back and being back. And then like, it's not like I have a training camp to like build up to like playing my first game again. It's like, no, like you're tossed into game 30.
Picture this. The WNBA wakes up and realizes their biggest star might have an expiration date stamped on her jersey. And it says 2026. Yep, people are already whispering doomsday predictions about Caitlin Clark's career. And the league is acting like someone just told them coffee got canceled. From wild theories to juicy insider gossip, this isn't just sports news. It's pure chaos in basketball shorts. Buckle up, because this story might be crazier than a triple overtime buzzer beater. The WNBA panic button isn't just pressed, it's smashed and stuck on full-time alarm mode. And it's not because of some big TV deal or a monster dunk. Nope. It's because everyone's starting to realize the only thing keeping this league from looking like a random community rec league is Caitlin Clark. Take her away, and suddenly the game looks like a bad YouTube video called My First Day at Basketball Camp. It's simple. If Caitlin's gone, Cunningham's gone, Hull's gone, I'm gone, you're gone. And the only thing left in the stands will be Engelbert's chair and a couple of foam fingers from 1999.
Is something that do not be surprised that President Trump speaks on with that kind of audience that is protective of a Caitlin Clark and what she stands for and what she represents. And they come to a conclusion that they believe she is being unfairly treated. That is going to be a problem for the WNBA. And based on Trump's history with the NFL and him being an obvious sports fan, goes to events and stuff like that, he pays attention to this kind of stuff. I'm just warning them. Watch it, because if he gets involved and that base gets involved, because somehow, some way they embrace victim.
Let's be honest. The only reason anyone is even pretending to debate this is because no one wants to face the ugly truth. Caitlin Clark is playing high-level chess, while the rest of the league is playing hungry hippos with missing marbles. She's out there dropping impossible passes and hitting shots that would make a physics professor cry, while the league is busy trying to convince us Angel Ree is must-watch TV. Angel Ree, whose highlight reel looks like it was filmed during a slow-motion shoot-around in her cousin's driveway. If that's your golden ticket, congratulations. You just booked a one-way trip to irrelevant.
She is an object of scorn for good reason. She's awesome. She's swaggery. She does turn your home crowd into a road crowd. She is a frustrating player to guard, all of it. And if she is, for some of these teams, a bit of a villain, that's sweet. It only will make her better. She is already one of the 3 or 4 best players in the sport, as a lot of us thought she would be in short order. And sports are best like this.
And here's the crazy part. The WNBA doesn't even seem interested in protecting Clark. Honestly, it feels like they've got some secret committee whose only job is to make her life miserable. Step 1. Hire refs who double as magicians, because they keep making good plays disappear. 1 minute you're watching a perfect assist. The next minute someone's explaining to Caitlin that her foul was actually karma for being too good.
I mean, yeah, like I would have loved to win one of them, but honestly, like 2 of my most fun nights in college were after losing the national championship. Like,
yeah, fair.
We had just as much fun.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I mean, yes, we were sad. We would have loved to win one of them. And I think I would have loved to win one of them. Not so much because like, okay, yeah, like I win one of them, we get like a ring, whatever, like people celebrate. But like, honestly, I think people celebrated us just as much as they did if we, didn't win, obviously.
Fixing this wouldn't even be that hard. Fire every single one of these refs and replace them with traffic cones. At least cones don't blow calls. But nope. Instead, we've got Engelbert in the league office acting like a high school principal who thinks banning chewing gum solves everything. Which leads to the obvious fix. Fire Engelbert. Fire her twice to be sure. And if Adam Silver doesn't step in, fire him too. At this point, just keep firing people until someone actually understands that your best player is getting hammered by incompetence.
Everyone can stop the pearl clutching for just a minute. And I say that as a turn of phrase, not because it's women's basketball. You'd realize this is the best thing imaginable for this league. And listen, I said this back when Caitlin was at Iowa, and everyone was, I thought, being overly protective of her, and I thought a lot of that had to do with like, oh, this little white girl in a black sport. And I was like, man, she is a badass and a trash talker and gives it as good as she gets it. And
And let's stop pretending this is magically going to fix itself. Sure, Caitlin Clark could stay in the WNBA. She could grind through it, drop 30 a night, and watch defenders hack her ankles to pieces. But why would she? In the EuroLeague, she'd make more money, play with real refs, get respect, and never have to pretend Angel Ree is her rival, when that matchup has all the intensity of a pillow fight. The truth no one wants to admit: the WNBA's overall skill level is painfully low. Sure, a handful of players can keep up with Caitlin's speed, vision, and shooting. The rest? Let's just say there's a reason 90% of the highlight reels online are her, and the other 10% are people tripping. Yet the league's marketing machine is working overtime to sell Angel Ree versus Caitlin Clark as a must-watch. Oh yes, let me clear my schedule to watch Caitlin casually dismantle someone who still struggles with basic shooting form.
News and some bad news for those who are fans of pretend basketball, for those who are desperate to see the WNBA succeed, even though this dump of a league can't seem to get the hell out of their own way. Now, the WNBA, they refer to these people as fans, but the rest of us, we prefer to call them the mainstream media. The good news is, WNBA ratings have been somewhat solid, even though Caitlin Clark has missed damn near the entire season.
Here's the truth. People watch the NBA or top college games for elite basketball. They watch the WNBA for two reasons: Caitlin Clark, and maybe because their remote died and got stuck on ESPN2. The league can't handle that truth, so they hide it under bad calls and forced hype. And instead of making life easier for their one true star, they're running her into the ground until she either breaks or leaves. Here's how it goes. 2026 rolls around, her contract's up, and she looks around. Same refs, Engelbert's still in charge, Adam Silver still doing whatever it is he does. And she decides, I'm out. She signs with a EuroLeague team offering double the pay, teammates who actually protect her, and fans who appreciate her game. Ratings in the WNBA will crash, ticket sales will tank, and ESPN will quietly shove the league back into the 3 a.m. slot after Cornhole Championships.
But she was eliminated, swept in 2 games. But the WNBA, man, these players have been acting like they are victims. Now, Caitlin Clark has brought a whole bunch of eyes to the WNBA. And what do these players actually do? Folks, it has gotten really, really ridiculous, man, in the WNBA, because all these players are screaming racism for the fans. Yes, they are attacking the fans.
Which brings us back to the easiest fix that'll never happen. Fire Engelbert, fire Adam Silver, and fire every ref who thinks calling a foul on a clean block is game control. Replace them with people who get it. Caitlin Clark is the league. Without her, the WNBA is just a dimly lit gym with bad jump shots and awkward marketing. Maybe she stays out of loyalty or some unfinished business, but if she leaves, no amount of spin will hide the truth. They had the best thing to happen in decades, and they let her walk. Picture the press release. We wish Caitlin well in her future endeavors. That's code for, we just lost our golden goose and the nest is empty. And you can already imagine Engelbert on TV talking about new opportunities for stars to emerge, like replacing LeBron with a guy from the church league.
It literally pisses me off when people are like, she's not the face of the league.
Who would be?
What?
Sabrina? No.
No, there's really good, well-known people in our league. I'm not discrediting them. Like, we have a lot of badasses in our league.
Yeah.
Like, hell yeah to that. I'm all for that. But when people try to argue that she's not the face of our league,
Yeah.
or if our league would be where we're at without her, you're dumb as shit.
Yeah.
You're literally dumb as fuck.
Fans will lose it. Social media will explode. The WNBA subreddit will have more conspiracy threads than a UFO forum, all asking, why didn't anyone protect her? The answer's obvious. Stop letting refs treat her like a piñata. Stop pretending Angel Ree is the LeBron of the WNBA when she's more like a reality show contestant who got famous for yelling once. And stop acting like skill doesn't matter when it's the only reason people watch. But this league runs on denial. And Adam Silver? He's like the sub-teacher who knows the class is out of control, but just throws on a movie. Now picture Caitlyn in Europe. She steps off the plane and fans are waiting with her jersey. Sponsors are lining up with massive checks, and refs aren't inventing fouls just to slow her down. Over there, if you can't compete, you sit. Over here, if you can't compete, they give you a nickname and a shoe deal.
To a fresh turd, these numbers without the roof from Waterloo look great. Instead of a freshly baked turd with no activity, there are definitely some flies attracted to this unbelievably bad product. In some cases, I've heard the WNBA even managed to attract a horsefly or two. But WNBA players, they are demanding million-dollar contracts, million-dollar salaries. WNBA players are demanding a larger portion of revenue. Now, notice their demands involve revenue, not profit. If the WNBA implemented a profit-sharing model, the players would be paying.
Back in the WNBA, the post-Caitlyn era begins. Opening night ratings? Let's just say you could count them on your fingers if you had a big enough abacus. The highlight is a banked three-pointer that was clearly an accident, but ESPN tries to hype it anyway. Angel Ree is still flexing after layups that took 4 bounces to drop, and the league's big storyline is someone wearing mismatched socks. Attendance? Entire sections will be empty except for Engelbert's friends and a Chuo guy who's only there because it's his cousin's stand. Season ticket holders will suddenly take up new hobbies, like staring at walls. The league will start giving away tickets with sandwich purchases. And their solution? Hype a new face of the league, whose stats look like a T-ball scoreboard. 2 weeks later, fans will be wondering if she's injured because she hasn't done anything in a game yet.
Basketball team has been hit with several blows, man, this whole season. Caitlin Clark went down early. You even had at one point Sophie Cunningham going down for a little bit. But one thing I can say is that a lot of these players like Kelsey Mitchell, Leah Boston, Natasha Howard stayed the course. You know, when you want to make it to that next level, especially in the second half of the season, going to make an impact all throughout the league, you have to stay the course. And that's
Meanwhile, Caitlyn's EuroLeague highlights will be going viral every week. Logo threes, no-look passes, buzzer beaters, sold-out arenas. The kind of stuff that reminds you why you love basketball. Every time a new clip drops, the WNBA's credibility takes another hit. It's simple. You protect your stars. You build around them. You don't let them get so fed up they start Googling best European cities for basketball. But the WNBA will spin her exit as growing the game internationally. They'll probably even send Engelbert to her first EuroLeague game to film a clip about building bridges, smiling like she wasn't the one who cut the bridge in half.
At this point, I think we all can agree that Caitlin Clark is going to be returning to action, but the question I have for all of you is, how many games do you think she needs under her belt going into playoff time for her to get into the swing of things? You want to see her play nothing in the regular season? First game back, she's in a series against the Phoenix Mercury. First game back, she's in a series against the Atlanta Dream. Do you want to see her play the 5 games remaining in the schedule? There's only 12 games.
That's why fans are already saying it. If Clark's gone, they're gone. Cunningham's gone. Hull's gone. Last one out, turn off the lights. Maybe leave Engelbert a note on the desk. It didn't have to be this way. But the league will pretend they don't hear it. They'll keep talking about growth and momentum, but numbers don't lie. When sponsors pull out, when games get shoved onto obscure streaming channels, maybe then someone will realize this could have been avoided with 2 easy steps. Fire Engelbert and stop running your star out of the league. You can hype all you want, but you can't fake greatness. Drive it away, and all you're left with is glossy mediocrity.
a Bonner drama. We know that was a locker room situation, but guess what? They stayed the course. And that's what they got to do to make it to the WNBA championship. Ultimately, a lot of people have been boycotting for Caitlin Clark to not come back with Ari McDonald down, Sydney Colson down. A lot of people feel like the depth isn't what it was. I feel like Caitlin Clark definitely need to come back. Sophie Cunningham, the way she's been balling, they'll be all right, man.
And when the inevitable state of the league press conference comes, it'll be unintentional comedy gold. Engelbert will stand at the podium grinning like she just won the lottery while the league burns behind her. She'll brag about record engagement, while the only viral clip is Caitlin Clark dropping 40 in a EuroLeague playoff game in an arena that serves better coffee than any WNBA venue. A halftime show gets canceled because the sponsor decided to back a bowling league instead. Fans will sit at home watching Caitlin's highlights, shaking their heads and saying, "This could have been avoided." But by then, the WNBA won't even panic. They'll just be numb. When the best thing that's happened in decades is gone, all that's left is regret, and the sound of fans still chanting, "Fire Engelbert, fire Adam Silver."